Law of attraction. Do it in 6 steps. The law of attraction can seem quite mysterious and even magical at times. However, it is very real and you can use it to great effect if you understand how it works and how to put it in motion. To be brief, the law of attraction is a way to attract into your life situations or objects that you desire. Because it is associated with making your dreams come true, it can get a bad rap as hocus pocus or superstitious nonsense. Once you take an objective look into quantum physics, however, it doesn't seem so far-fetched. When we use the law of attraction, we are simply vibrating our consciousness or focus to the same frequency of our desires. Then, those desires or undesirables appear in our reality. But enough of the way it works for now. You want to know exactly what you can do right now to put this powerful natural ability to personal use. According to real-life personal experiences, here is how it's done. Be specific. In my experience, I've learned to be very specific about what you want. I remember when I was a kid, all of my friends had bikes and I really wanted one of my own. So I would go to their houses and we would play, but I was always using their bikes. Sometimes they would come to my house and pick me up on their handlebars and then ride me to their house. So of course, I would fantasize about having a bike of my own. And then not long after, my uncle out of nowhere brought me a bike, and it was nowhere near the bike that I really wanted. Now, I was happy and all that I got it, but I didn't realize back then that when you want something, you have to be really specific about the details. I mean, for example, I really wanted a dirt bike, you know, the kind that you ride in the BMX. So I learned now as an adult to be much more specific about what you want. And if you're more specific, the better results you'll get. If you want to use this power and you have some doubts, what you should do is start with something really small, like a special ballpoint pen or even a specialized t-shirt. Write it down. I was always told when you want anything, you should always write it down. It's the same as when you set a goal. I was in this network marketing company years ago, and they were always saying, "What are your goals? Have you written them down?" I would get a little embarrassed when they would ask, so I started writing them down on a list. To this day, I still write down my goals and post them where I can see them every day. You're supposed to write them down and then state when exactly you want them to happen. The law of attraction uses the same principle. When you see your goal every day, it reminds you of what you want and makes you think about it more than you probably would otherwise. So you're attracting it to yourself every time you think about it. Oh, and you should always think about it with excitement. Keep a positive and grateful attitude. I like to think positive. There's a whole lot that can happen to you in just one day. A lot can bring you down and break your spirit. If you just keep having a negative attitude about everything, then you're going to miss a lot of blessings. I realize that the more positive you think, the more positive things come into your life. But if you constantly thinking negative, you don't even see those positive things because you're too distracted by the BS. It does take some work to turn your thinking around, but you definitely see the difference when you do. You can trust me on that one. Focus and meditate on it. It's true. You have to focus on what you want. If you want a bigger house, if you want a nicer car, if you want to travel more, even if you want better relationships, you have to take time out every day to focus on those things. You have to do it quietly every day. You can't let anything distract you from doing it. Once you do it for long enough, the things you want will happen. Then it's time to party, man. Watch for clues. Expect it. Okay, so when you're dead set on what you really want and you're really excited about it, crazy coincidences will happen. Now, these coincidences are not actually coincidences. They're actually clues that you're on the right track, but you will only notice them if you keep your eyes open. Here's an example. I recently wanted to test the law of attraction with a small but odd request. I wanted to get a mountain bike. Not just any mountain bike. I wanted to get a Trek, which is a really more high-end mountain bike. Now the crazy part is, I wanted it for free. Now, of course, that's outrageous, and I thought there's no way I'm going to get to Trek for free. I was definitely excited about it, though. Now, not long after starting my experiment, my family and I moved into our new house, and the former owner left us an old bike. No, it wasn't a Trek. In fact, it was a 20 or 30-year-old bike, but it did work, so I patched it up and rode it around for a few weeks, and, that was the first clue. A free bike. Coincidentally, my cousin and I had a conversation about mountain biking, and he mentioned that he had a few Treks and that I could have one. Now, it was an older beat-up model, but I was grateful, and in a week or so, I went over and I picked it up. Now, by this time, I hadn't even been thinking about the law of attraction or, the experiment that I was focusing on. But once I took it out of my car and I took a good look at it, it hit me. Oh my God, I just got a free Trek. I really had to pause right in that moment and think about what had just happened. True story. And finally, receive it. Last and quite obviously, take possession of what you wished for, or observe and acknowledge what you now have in your reality. Then do it again for different and bigger things or situations. After a while, you will get more accustomed to using it. You will get better at it and become more and more conscious for making it work for you. Let us know in the comments about your law of attraction experiences, and remember that yes, you can get it done.